Hi, I'm James George, and today I'm going to show you the best tool I have for being able to collect email addresses and grow your mailing list. So, most people use WordPress if they are hosting a blog or just their own personal website. And I like WordPress a lot, and the best plugin that I've found for collecting email addresses is called popup domination. To give you a little bit of background, I own a few different websites. My biggest one is Creative Beacon, and I've had it for a long time, and it took forever to grow my mailing list at first because I just had a subscribe box in my sidebar, and I would get 20 or 30 subscribers a month, which is a terrible subscribe rate. And so, one of the things that I found was a lot of people recommended pop-up domination. And so, I thought I'd give it a try. It's a premium plugin for WordPress. It costs about $60 or $70, but I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought it and installed it. And I kid you not, overnight my subscribe rate went from 20 to 30 a month to 3 or 400 a month, which is huge difference. And that I'm not kidding when I say that, because for whatever reason, I guess it wasn't being noticed in the subscribe box in the sidebar, but that I had it set. My method for my pop-up is to be the last thing somebody sees before they leave, and it says, "Hey, wait! If you liked what you saw here, why don't you subscribe to my newsletter, and I'll send you something in your email weekly. No spam, no BS, no junk. You just subscribe, and I'll send you a newsletter each week with cool articles, tutorials, free stuff, things like that." And so people seem to like that, and my subscribe rate is literally 10 times what it was before. And it's all due to pop-up domination. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to install pop-up domination and how it works. Okay, so you go to popupdomination.com and you purchase it, and you install it just like any other plugin. And so you go to plugins and you go to install, and you can either go to upload, or you can decompress the file and upload it to your server that way. Either way you want to do it is fine. Anyway, so once you install pop-up domination, you have all these menus down the side. And the first menu that you'll see is this menu. There won't be a campaign here, but I'm going to show you how to set one up. And so when I first started using it, it didn't have an in-post campaign. This is one of their newer features, and I love it too, and I'll talk about that in a second. The first thing you want to do, though, is you want to go over to your sidebar and go to Mailing List Manager. And this is where you can integrate your email service. And so I use MailChimp, but you just click on Create New Mailing Configuration, and you'll see that pop-up domination doesn't just work with MailChimp, or you don't have to integrate. You create your own custom form or whatever and then upload it. No, you use your own email service and you just integrate it automatically. There's MailChimp, Aweber, iContact, Constant Contact, Campaign Monitor, Get Response, all right here. And so you choose one, and it just asks you for certain details, like your API key from MailChimp. You'd find that on the MailChimp website, paste it in there, and you grab your mailing list, and it'll create a drop down of all your mailing lists that are attached to that one MailChimp account. You select it, then you choose different options here, like do you want to submit it to a new window? Do you want to disable the name field? You just want the email address and go, or do you want to make it more personal and get their name? Redirect user after opt-in, and any custom fields that you might want to add. When you're done, you save the changes. Since I already have mine integrated, there's I'm not going to do that. But then you go back to campaigns. Actually, I'm sorry. After you download it, you're going to want to do something. When you purchase Pop-Up Domination, they have bonus themes. They have themes already built into this, but you can download bonus themes, and you just go to the theme installer, and you can upload the themes. The themes will be in a zip file. And so a lot of people try to install the themes via your plugins, and it doesn't work that way. And this is where you do that, is theme installer. You go to theme upload, you point to it and upload it. And once it's uploaded, it'll take 30 seconds. Then you can go back to campaigns. So once you're back to campaigns, you're going to create a new pop-up campaign, and you're going to have to put in a few details. First thing you want to put in is the pop-up name and a description. And so I set this as my main campaign. I don't put a bunch of pop-ups on the website. I'm not going to do that. You get one pop-up, and I'm going to show you some things that you could do later to make it to where it's not redundant and excessive and just spamming people constantly, because people hate pop-ups. But if you do it the right way, then people won't get upset about it. And so I named this my main campaign. I say campaign to grow main list. And so the first tab is look and feel. This is where you choose what template style you're going to use and what colors. And they've got a bunch of different templates that I like. The video ones are cool. You can create a custom video promoting something and say, hey, if you like this site, or you want to sign up for my webinar or whatever, you could put a little video there and explaining what's going on. And studies show that videos actually will have a 70% higher conversion rate than just the static text. So if you're really into converting your visitors, that's a good choice. I'm just going to do a plain pop-up for right now, but it's really easy to integrate your video. And so there's another video template. And then you have all these different templates. And so this one's the one I'm going to choose, but they're all a variation of this type of style. And you have all kinds of different colors. I'm going to choose bright purple. And I want my button to be orange. And so the next tab, you're going to add in your content. You're going to put a title, which is basically your big letters at the top, your big wording. So I say, wait, don't miss out. And that's basically to get somebody's attention. Say, hey, wait a minute, don't leave just yet, because I'm going to add this at the end when somebody leaves and starts to leave my website. I find that that's the best way to convert people to subscribing. Your form header is basically the words right above your name and address fields. And it just says simply enter your email address. And then footer security note, you want to say your information won't be shared with third parties, something to that effect. Let them know that, hey, I'm not going to give your information out to other people. People want to make sure that you're not going to just, sell their email address to somebody else or anything like that. That's not a good practice. And if you do that, then shame on you. The name value, email address, and then your button text. That's your call to action. Not just say join now or sign up or subscribe. Something simple and to the point. You save your changes. And the next is your bullet list. These are your key points, and this is fantastic. This is what the benefits that you're going to describe that they will receive for subscribing to your mailing list. And so I say you get free website templates, WordPress themes, and more. Get time-saving tips, freelancing tips, and more. Become a better designer with easy how-tos. Really simple and to the point. And it will tell you how many that you have. This theme has a limit of 3 checkboxes. Okay, so that's it. You don't want to add a fourth one because it's going to go off of your pop-up and it won't look good. The display settings are the best, and I'll tell you why. Here is where you can control when and where your pop-up comes up. So when somebody visits, you could specify how many days it will be before the pop-up shows up again. So that if somebody visits your site every day and they don't sign up the first day, they won't see your pop-up again for X amount of days. I put 7 because most people are going to sign up the first time or they're just not going to sign up at all, usually. And so then if they've visited regularly for a week, usually they'll just go ahead and sign up. How many times must the site be visited before the pop-up appears? I say 1 or 0 because it's going to that's going to default for it to show up on the first visit. You want them to get that because it might be their first time visiting, and for them to remember your site and come back again is unlikely without a little bit of help, and that's why you get their email address. You can decide what triggers the pop-up, which is fantastic. You can set it to show up on page load, and you can decide how many seconds it is before it comes up. You can set it to where the mouse leaves the browser viewport, which is your main area here. You can also set it to when the user tries to leave the page, and it will create a dedicated alert box here that will pop up, which is kind of annoying, and so I don't do that one. You can set it for images or buttons or links. So when somebody clicks on something, that will trigger the pop-up to come up and say, "Oh, I see you're interested in this. Well, so give me your email address, and I'll give you something for free, or I'll do something for you." So a lot of people use that. And you have to go in and create a button with a class of pop-up domination link for this to work. Or you can set it to when a user clicks a small tab on the side of the page, and then you could specify in pixels how far down that tab is going to be. And so when they click that tab, that will trigger the sign-up screen. And so I choose when the browser leaves the viewport. And so it's like when somebody is going to type in another address or they're going towards the exit thing to leave, the pop-up comes up and says, "Wait, hey, if you like the content that I have on the site, why don't you sign up for my newsletter, and then you can get stuff in your inbox once a week." And you can specify how your pop-up appears. If you want it to just appear immediately with no effects, just all of a sudden just bam, it's there. Or you can have it nicely fade in, or you could have it slide from any of the cardinal directions, from top, bottom, left, or right. I just choose fade in because that's a simple and classy way for it to show up. You can also allow it on mobile devices. This option, I leave this to no, because this will just tick a lot of people off. Do you want to disable the option to close the pop-up? No, you don't want to do that, because then people can't access the site without putting in their email address, and that a lot of people will just get angry and never come back. If you do this, it better be absolutely fantastic free content, or something that they get for, a free download, something that everybody wants. And that's that's the only reason I could ever see doing this. Otherwise, leave it to no, because you're just going to tick everybody off and nobody's going to come to your site. You can also specify which pages specifically that this pop-up shows up on, or specific categories, which is fantastic as well, because you can specify, if you've got a Photoshop ebook, you can specify that it only shows up for Photoshop. Or if you've got a free or a premium UI kit, then you can specify that a pop-up only shows up for that, if it's related to that. And so you can create multiple pop-ups and have one for each category if you want. And so once you're done, you save the changes. And then you have mailing list. And this is where you have set up your mailing list, and asks you which one that you want to use. So, of course, I'm going to choose MailChimp. And then you can set it up to email you every single time somebody subscribes, which is ridiculous, because if you get 300 or 400 subscribes in a month, that's 300 or 400 emails you're going to get per month every time somebody subscribes, which is it's going to get annoying after a while. Services like MailChimp will actually send you a summary at the end of the day. So this isn't necessary, but if you want to keep up with every single subscribe, you could do it by entering an email address here. Once that's done, you can actually launch a preview of what it will look like in the window. So this gives you a basic preview, but it doesn't have your stuff in it. But if you want to see a preview, you just click that launch preview button and it will come up. And see, my mouse went to leave the viewport, and there it is. Wait, don't miss out. Free templates, themes, and more. Gets time-saving tips. Simply enter your email address. And so you enter your email address, join now, and you're done. One thing to remember, though, is just because you have this set up, you have to go in and make this active. And so this will say pop-up domination is not active, and it'll say turn on. So you click on turn on, and now then it will say pop-up domination is active, and you'll know that it's ready and you're done. And so we'll go back to campaigns, and I'll show you another little thing that is important. Let's say you have certain campaigns for certain times of the year or certain promotions. You can turn on a campaign or turn it off. So if you have a whole list of them here, you could turn certain ones off and turn certain ones on. And that's it. And so I showed you today how to integrate pop-up domination with your website, which is absolutely fantastic. There's also the new in-post campaign, which is fantastic because it adds a subscribe form inside of your article. And so if we go inside of an article, and scroll down towards the bottom. It's kind of a long article. That subscribe form would be down here before the related posts, and it would just say, hey, if you like this, enter your email address. And so to do that, all you have to do is just click that little button and create one. They've got templates just like this, so you set it up the exact same way, and you could have bullet points and everything. This is why I highly recommend pop-up domination. So much control over everything, and the ability to have your pop-ups look highly professional, for them not to be invasive, to control when they pop up, where, how, what they say, and to be able to have multiple pop-ups and control what pages and where they show up is absolutely fantastic. If you don't have pop-up domination, I recommend getting it now. I'm James George, and thank you for your time.